Okay guys, just a review on the 2019 Indian Scout Bobber, the Icon Series Limited Edition in the smoked brass, which is my preferred colour. So this one's fairly, well, I was going to say stock. It's not really. We've got a few additional features on it. We've got the pillion seat here with the pegs. We've got the upgraded Fox shocks with the tension adjustment here and the dampening adjustment. We've also got what else have we done on this bike? I've got the fender eliminator bracket number plate holder on the rear guard there. We've also got probably my favourite addition is the Indian 2-in-1 exhaust, which gives it a really nice note. That's backed up with a modified airbox with a high flow filter. The engine's tuned in accordance to that system. It's a full system 2-in-1. That gives it a roundabout, according to the guys at Indian in Melbourne, another 10 horsepower apparently, which will bring the whole bike up to about 110 horsepower, which is, it absolutely fangs. Like it goes like the clappers. We've got the comfort seat, which I upgraded to that. The other one was a bit hard. I did end up with a sore ass after a few days, and yeah, just got that on it as well, which seems to be a lot better. So I reckon that will have fixed that. My lovely wife over here likes jumping on the back, and she's quite happy to sit on the back for reasonably short trips. You know, we can go half-an-hour trips quite comfortably, probably a bit more. If we wanted to go further, we'd probably stop and have a bit of a break. But she's quite comfortable, loves it. And then on here I was also going to point out, we've got this is on the 2019 model, this is where the USB charging port is. Here people mention them but wondered where it was, but that's where it is for anyone that's wondering. These mirrors here you can flip upside down and put in the down position, so you actually look under your arm to see the mirror down here. I prefer them in the traditional position, but each to their own. But the bike, in all honesty, like we picked this up for one of their promotional test rides last weekend, and I'm still scratching my head that they let you do it. Take the bike for the weekend, and you know, there's. I thought, what's the catch? What, are they just going to let us take the bike? And I rang them up and they said, yep, $2,000 excess if you do have a accident, which is fair. You'd expect that with any hire car. So yeah, I gave him my license details, credit card. This is through Victory Motorcycles in Melbourne, who was the Indian dealer, and I dealt with Kelly down there, he was a really good bloke, really easy to deal with. Nothing was too much trouble. I said, you know, I really want to try it with the wife with the pillion seat, and he said, yeah, we can do that. Put that on, put the pegs on, and yeah, we went down and picked it up. Full tank of fuel, service with a smile, off we went. But I think I know why they were smiling, because they probably knew that we were going to buy it, because we were absolutely wrapped in it. And by all accounts, the last 3 people that have done this all bought the bike. So I got the last one in this the smoked brass that was available in the run out model for 19, so absolutely stoked. And yeah, jumped on the bike, took it for a ride, and honestly blew me away. Well, I did do another little video and put it on there about 2 up, and I'm not really good at doing the editing, to be honest with you, so it's a pretty ordinary video, but gives you a bit of an idea, a bit of information for people that are interested in that. I've got a fairly cheap, microphone for this GoPro system, so I don't know how well this will work, but I'll try and get some of the exhaust note. I love the sound of this exhaust. It just sounds really, really tough. Not too in your face, but just a nice deep throaty note. So I'll start it up, we'll go for a bit of a ride, and hopefully you'll be able to get a bit of an understanding of the sound of it. You can see in my seating position here that my feet are my legs are quite bent, quite comfortably bent. Feet are flat on the ground. A lot of people have made comment about that. I don't see the big deal. I find it quite comfortable. And I'd rather have my feet flat on the ground than be on my tippy toes struggling to hold a big heavy bike up in unstable ground or whatever. So Let's go, lovely. Alright, so we'll hit the road. Hopefully you'll get a bit of an idea of the note. Yeah, I've found that this mic doesn't really do the sound of the bike justice, but see how we go. I'll just putt out of this little park area here. Love the forward controls. I wasn't sure how I'd go with that. Found the bike to be really, really stable, easy to control, low centre of gravity, handles beautifully. Might have to shut this visor, it's probably going to get a bit windy. Right in the guts of tourist season here at the moment. Population just totally blows out of proportion this time of year, so you've got to drive with eyes in the back of your head, ride with eyes in the back of your head. It's like I say to people, I ride like everybody's trying to kill me, especially this time of year. Now this exhaust, it gives you a really a nice deep rumble. If you want to really blast it, you can at low revs. If you load the engine up at low revs, it does give you a bit more a few more decibels, whatever you want to say. But just cruising around, it gives you a nice tough note. Just a perfect system for me. I really like the sound of it. Don't like a V-twin getting its knackers wrung out. They just don't sound good, I don't think. I think there's a time and a place for certain sounds on bikes, like a big inline 4 revving its guts out sounds quite good, but you wring the guts out of a V-twin, I don't think it sounds good at all. But I do like the sound of them just cruising, that low down rumble. Good fun round corners, this thing. Totally different to a sports bike obviously, but very, very low ground clearance, low centre of gravity. Haven't found that to be a problem at all. The bike's very nimble, you can throw it around, you just feel in total control all the time. Very comfortable seating position for me. I was a little bit concerned at the start when I first looked at these bikes and not having forward controls before. I thought, yeah, that could be a bit of an issue. I'm not sure how I'll go with that, because I do have the occasional back problem. You know, like everybody, or probably most people my age, you have your moments, but honestly have not had a slightest problem with my back on this bike. It's been perfect. The only issues that I've had from a comfort point of view was the seat. Before I upgraded it to the comfort seat, there's a few big bumps along this road, which it's pretty ordinary. But yeah, with the comfort seat, much happier with it. Thoroughly recommend that if you were to buy one of these bikes. Not 100% sure on the shockers. I've only had it with the good Fox shocker upgrade, so I can only assume that they're a really good thing from other reviews and things, but I was lucky enough to have them on this bike when I got it. So from my point of view, very happy with the ride. I'd probably recommend that you went to shockers. I think they're an option from Indian. All the other stuff that I've got on this bike, like the exhaust system, the seats and everything, they're all available through Indian at the dealership. And if your local dealership is anything like Victory Motorcycles in Melbourne, where I got this from, absolute pleasure to deal with. Nothing's too much trouble at all. And I've got to say, I take my hat off to them. What a clever business concept. Take it for 3 days and see how you go with it, because I challenge anybody to ride one of these things and not thoroughly enjoy it and want to buy it. I seriously, I was blown away. I was expecting it to be a pretty cool bike, but I just fell in love with it. We both did. It's just absolutely awesome. I wish you could hear the exhaust note the way I can at the moment, but this, as I say, the microphone doesn't do it justice, but it's just a really nice little rumble. It's loud enough to let other cars know that you're on the road. If you want to be heard, you can be heard. Well, you will be heard as just in normal riding, but if you want to create a bit of attention, you can quite easily give it a little bit of a touch up on the throttle, and people will certainly know you're there. But all in all, nothing really at all that I can say that's negative about the bike. I wouldn't buy it as a tourer for across the country by any means, but in saying that, I'm sure there's people that have done that. So my intentions will be to put saddlebags on the bike, just to be able to carry little bits and pieces. And I think if the saddlebags are done, if they're done right and you get the right ones, they'll be an absolute. They'll complement the bike. They certainly won't look funny or anything like that. I think the style of the bike is almost begging for a couple of nice leather saddlebags on the side. I personally like one either side. Some people just have one, but just gives you that little bit of, you know, an option to, like, I like to carry a microfiber cloth just to keep the bike clean, have some lens cleaner in it, little bits and pieces like that. But yeah, probably the only negative thing that I'd say about the bike, and I don't even like to say anything negative at all, is the fact that it doesn't have a fuel gauge, which is, to me, it's a little bit disappointing. But there is a low fuel light that comes on. It comes on approximately about 30 k's before you run out, from what they tell me at the dealership. Now, there's obviously going to be variables with the stage that light will come on, depending on the type of riding you've been doing and the terrain that you've been in. Or if you're going up and down big hills and fanging it around corners, you're obviously going to chew a bit more juice than if you're just putting along at 80 k's on a flat road. So generally speaking, my light seems to have come on. I've had it come on twice now in the riding that I've done. It come on once at 172 k's on the odometer, which I set as 0 each time I fill up. The next time came on at 175, so it's fairly consistent for that. Yeah, so I basically treat my trip meter, which you can see at the moment is on 29.5. I treat that as my fuel gauge within reason. I think it's a perfectly manageable thing. As I say, not wanting to be negative about the bike, but if I had to be really picky, that's probably one of the only things that I could say is wrong with it. But easily manageable. As far as the comfort and the power is just phenomenal. This thing goes like the clappers, goes like shit out of a Shanghai. Like fair dinkum. If like, to put it in comparison, and I'm certainly no Harley Davidson expert, never had one, but to my knowledge, their V-Rod is their performance bike, and these things will do a V-Rod over the quarter mile, to put it in perspective for you. So not that you'd buy one of these bikes for a drag bike. Well, I suppose each to their own. It's certainly not what I bought it for, but yeah, as I say, they go like shit out of a Shanghai, and really good fun. 6-speed transmission, tells you what gear you're in on the multifunction display here down here. I'm in 6 at the moment. If I toggle through this display, there's a button up here. If you toggle through the display, RPM, you've got engine temp, DC volts that it's putting out, you've got your odometer. This has done 953 k's from new at the moment. It's still a pup. And then your trip meter. But there's also a clock on the bottom, 24-hour clock if it's set on digital, on metric. What's the word for it? You know what I'm trying to say. On metric, if you set it on imperial, I believe the clock goes back to 12 hours. So units I was trying to think of, metric units. So yeah, look, it's got everything you want. I can't speak highly enough of this bike. If you just love the look of these bikes and think, oh yeah, look, because that's what got me, to be honest with you. I thought, what an absolute ball terror. I've got to go and have a look at one of these things. And yeah, went down to India and arranged the test ride with absolutely, and I mean, I had zero intentions of buying the bike. I love my Kawasaki Zephyr 1100 that I've got. Ticks all the boxes, quite happy with it, but I thought I'd love to have a look at one of these Indian Scout bobbers, and when they had this promotion for the 3 days, I thought, what a bloody great idea. And I was just waiting for the catch the whole time. I thought, there's got to be a catch to this. How can they do that? But I'll tell you what, very, very clever business concept. It certainly worked on this little black duck. My wife and I we took it for a ride, pretty much got off, looked at each other with our jaws on the ground and said, shut up and take my money. We just fell in love straight away. What an absolute cracker of a machine. Awesome fun to ride, absolutely magical to look at. Like whoever the design people at Indian, I absolutely take my hat off to them. I'm a fairly critical person as far as aesthetics on things and the lines that things are designed with and all the rest of it. And some of the automotive manufacturers that I look at their cars, I think, what are you on, bloody drugs? What's wrong with you people? What are you doing? I won't mention names, but certain cars, it's like they've got a team of people that they say, right, how are we going to make this thing look bad now? But this particular bike, absolute opposite. It's like they've streamlined every little part and fine-tuned the aesthetics of everything just to make it work into one big fantastic package to look at. My wife was laughing last night. I said I could sit this in my shed, pull up a chair and just sit there and look at it every night. That's how much I think they look great. And what an awesome machine to ride as well. So seriously, the way I sound, it sounds like I should be working for Indian, but in all seriousness, fantastic bike. Loved it, everything about it so far. And I can't speak highly enough of the guys at Victory Motorcycles in Melbourne. They helped me out with it. Very, very good to deal with. And they've even got a deal on there now that surprises me as well, which is on their second-hand bikes. They do 7-day test rides on their second-hand bikes. If you buy one of their bikes and you don't like it, you can take it back in 7 days and get your money back. And you know, on there, at a first glance you think, well, that's a bit crazy, but I tell you what, I bet they sell a few bikes doing that too. But what an awesome concept, and just a great place to deal with. So but yeah, anybody who's thinking about buying one, take it from me. Don't test ride one if you don't want to buy it, but by all means, if you can, go and test ride one. It's the most fun I've had with my pants on. Absolutely love it. Good on you guys. Hope this review helps, and I'll catch you in the next one.